What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MarbleCast. Today is our 50th episode, and so we're doing a special edition just to mix things up a bit. We want to thank you all for listening to us for almost a year now and for enjoying the show. And if you are enjoying the show, please hit that like button and the subscribe button on YouTube. And if you're just listening and you'd like to support the channel, please head to the link in the description. Any little bit helps. We have a few supporters. We could use a few more. It helps the channel grow and it helps us operate and keep you guys getting new episodes every week. This episode was also made possible by Driven Nutrition RX Coffee, a great dark roast coffee for every athlete or anybody who's looking for a great coffee in the morning or that midday pick-me-up. We highly recommend all of Driven Nutrition products, so check out the links in the description or in the show notes. You can get yours today. It's awesome. We highly recommend it. Without further ado, guys, we hope you enjoy this episode. Let's check it out. All right, welcome back to another MarbleCast. Today is our 50th episode, so we're doing a special edition called F This Movie. And today we're talking about the movie South Paw. So, without saying this, obviously spoiler alert, but I mean, this movie's like fucking 10 years old. So if you haven't seen this movie and you're listening to this podcast, I guess now would be the time to stop listening and go watch it. Or just listen to us rape this movie as hard as we can. And we got Dylan and Anthony on the podcast. Welcome, fellas.
What's going on?
How's it going?
All right. First time for Dylan.
Yeah. It's quite the experience. I'm in shock. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Dude, I never do. So here we are. All right. So this movie, Southpaw. Can we address the first problem with this movie is that it's called Southpaw and the fucking guy is a right-handed boxer?
Yeah. I think I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure there's about 40 seconds of that last, or actually 4 seconds of that last fight where he switches stances, and that is the whole title for the whole movie, I guess, just based off of that.
Yes.
But Dylan and I watched the movie again last night. I had watched it a few months ago, probably when you wrote that in March. I don't know the last time Dylan saw it was, but we figured we'd watch it again, and we were both so not excited to watch it again that we just ate everything in my pantry for 20 minutes before we even started.
Yeah.
So that was the how it started. And then if you want to go with first thoughts.
I mean, I sat there and nitpicked at every detail, and Anthony was like, bro,
I tend to do that with every movie regardless of what it is. So.
Like, it was so bad. Like, the first
Let's
thing...
start off. Yeah, go ahead. Start off.
Well,
What is this movie about? This is another cliche boxing movie about a white guy boxer who's super aggressive, but he doesn't know how to play defense, but somehow he's a champion.
Yeah. And is super impulsive, doesn't make right decisions with his money. It's like, this could have been told in a Dr. Seuss book. You could have had 8 pages, like, impulsive asshole boxer, tragedy, hits rock bottom, finds a new coach, wins a championship fight.
Against the guy who...
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Dylan. You make your first point.
No, so my first point was going to be that he's this all-star fighter that's 43-0, and then some dude walks up in the back of the room, and everybody's like, "Who's this guy?" And they won't let him fight him. I'm like, well, if this is like a no-name boxer who lives in a crack house, right?
Yeah. If that is his apartment.
What was that? His girlfriend or something was in a crack house?
Yeah, they went to an apartment, and she was like asking him for a fix. And had 3 kids, but I don't know. We couldn't figure out if he was going to try to kill that fighter or the dude in his crew that killed his wife.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Either way, like, I understand the don't be a snitch thing, but if you know who it is, the cops asked him like 10 times. Like,
we're gonna get to that because part of having Anthony on this podcast, and especially for this movie, is that he is a law enforcement officer. I'll say that. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
And there's parts of this movie that literally make no sense in the realm of investigation. So let's just start off with the wife is his manager, and she's worried about his safety, and he keeps getting pummeled in the face by punches, which is fine. I understand that aspect of it, the danger zone. And apparently she handles all of his money and his contracts, and she does the deals, and he just boxes and trains. Okay. So now... we get about 20 minutes into this movie, and she somehow gets killed very tragically. I won't go into that. We'll get into that part later. But she's tragically killed, and automatically the next 3 days, he's he owes money, his house is gone, and he's no longer a boxer anymore. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
How did that happen so quickly?
Yeah, I had a neighbor who didn't pay his mortgage for 10 years. And so the fact that he got everything repoed in 3
but it was
days is
within,
so
like,
like what happened.
immediately.
It was like within 30 days they took
Yeah.
all of his shit. How does that doesn't make any sense?
Yeah, it's just. I mean, in my opinion, that's just poor writing. You just need. How do we get this character to hit rock bottom
as fast as possible.
And you just take away his money, take away all his shit, and then he loses a fight.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think if they made him have financial problems before, like it was a thing that was occurring before his wife died, and then it was like it just kind of all fell through right when she died, that would have made a little bit more sense. But he went from having money and contracts and buying his buddies, I'm assuming, very expensive watches.
Well, see, I think that's how they tried to justify that he was a outlandish spender, an extravagant
Well,
spender. He bought watches,
yeah.
3 watches.
3 watches, that
Yeah.
put him over the top.
Yeah, yep. Wasn't the Maserati.
It wasn't the houses and the
But-
Maserati.
Yeah.
Like, and this is where I have a problem with myself when I watch movies, because now I'm like, all right, you're just being ridiculous. But in my head, like, there was a clear downslope they could have went where, like, all right, maybe he sells the house that's like 100,000 square feet, and they go buy an apartment, and then maybe he messes up again, and then it's slowly, like, there was just like all or nothing. It was very like ridiculous, you know. But she was right about the. I don't know if you want to go back into the wife and
Yeah,
all
go
that,
ahead.
but I mean, it's very hard. It was hard for me to like Billy, the protagonist, because they set him up to be terrible from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
He's impulsive. He's, like you said, a lavish spender. His wife was right about everything, and he just blatantly did. Like, he's like half an idiot already from getting punched in the face, and she tells him, "You're gonna be punch drunk in 2 years." He already is. Like, it was a stupid thing, I think. It's a hard movie to watch because he's so terrible. You just like, if they made him slightly more likable, I think it would have been a totally different movie.
Yeah.
But you just hate him from the beginning. He just constantly messes up, which is like a writing thing, but. It was too much, too quick. You just hate him from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like with Rocky, at least he was punch drunk and talked really slow, but it was kind of like your, slow cousin where you just feel bad.
Rocky, like, it's a different type of movie because this guy is a champion already. Rocky was an amateur, shitty boxer thug
Yeah.
where he happened to get lucky and get a chance with a professional boxer just because of a special promotional event. This guy is already a well-established boxer, but once again, he has no defense and doesn't know how to block, so he just gets punched in the face all the time. But
Yeah.
he's so tough, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
the wife
Yeah.
was like, she's like, I know you. What'd she say?
You
Like,
get him
don't
more
hit as hard.
aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't hit as hard until you take a punch or whatever.
Yeah, it takes you more punches to get off now. It's
Yeah.
like, so. But I don't want to stray too far from the point, but when after his downfall, he goes looking for a gym. So for Rocky, it makes sense that he goes and finds this, crappy gym with some old dude.
He was already in a crappy
Yeah, he was already in a crappy gym. This guy, who's supposed to be the best fighter in the world, can't find a gym to take him. I mean, like, if Plexico Burress can blow his hand off with a firework and go back to New York Giants, like, this guy can't find another gym? Like,
No, it's impossible.
It's impossible. Like, he's got to go to some gym that takes in orphans, and he's got to, like, clean toilets.
And the
stuff.
guy didn't
Like,
even
come
want
on.
him.
Yeah, he didn't
He was
even
like,
want to come out.
I don't want you.
Yeah. I don't train pro fighters anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want you.
Come on.
But on top of that, all right, his wife dies. We're going to get into the wife dying.
I think we
in
should
a
talk
moment.
about that because that was just.
We're going to get into that. But right after his wife dies, his accountant and his manager tell him he's broke and he needs to sign this contract. Like, dude, 3 days ago, I just watched my fucking wife die. She
Yeah.
bled out in my arms, took her last breath while I'm staring at her. And you want me to sign a contract and go fight? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Give me back my money and get out of my house.
Yeah.
I'm fucking not fighting forever. Fuck this, especially that guy.
And they missed. I think 50 Cent could have been such a better character as well. They could have molded him into like part of the family and has his best interest in mind and is like the best manager ever. But like you can tell he's like a douche from the first scene.
That was 50 Cent?
Yeah. Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit.
That was 50 Cent.
I didn't know that.
I don't know his real name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Curtis Jackson, I think.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Wow.
sense. That sounds
Yeah,
right.
his
Yeah.
music's not that good.
Yeah, he was.
It's
No,
your birthday. It's your birthday.
That was just like he should stick to rap. Not a good actor.
Yeah, not acting. Yeah, come on, man. Like, let's see some facial expressions. But
I couldn't get into that, like that whole part where, dude, my fucking wife died, and someone said, listen, you got to go do this competition. You need this. No, I don't.
Yeah, no.
I got a fucking kid.
They're like,
Yeah.
how about I sell my $4 million house and
Yeah.
then just hang out for like 6 months?
yeah,
I'll be okay.
He's got a
Yeah.
mansion like that's like a Jordan
Yeah.
Belfort house. Come on,
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
affording that a boxer salary. Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
No,
maybe.
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
What's
You think
it? Rick
so?
Ross bought Evander Holyfield's house,
Oh, really?
and that's the house they used for Coming to America 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's is that up? Is that foreshadowing for an
We're
upcoming?
gonna get to that
Oh,
another time. All right, so the wife dying. Now, they sort of built this up over 3 minutes. This guy wants
Yeah.
a fight. No, I just want to fight, so I'm just gonna like hang out tonight. No, we gotta fight. And then they start fighting in the hallway after he fights. So he starts fighting 50 Cent in the hallway, throwing chairs because
Flips the
this guy's
table,
talking
yeah.
shit to him.
Yeah.
And
And then
then-
apologizes immediately after.
I'm so sorry. I
Yeah,
just
sorry.
flipped this table.
Flips the table. I'm
I
sorry. I
didn't
didn't mean
mean
to
to
do
flip the table.
that. Yeah.
And then 3 days later, they have another confrontation while he's giving a speech to the orphan homes because they're both orphans and they grew up in the same foster home or whatever it was.
Him and
So-
his wife, right?
Him and his wife. So this is Jake Gyllenhaal and his wife Rachel McAdams, McAdams. They're orphans, so they grow up in the foster system and they grew up together. And he's giving a speech because he made it, and now he's a famous guy and he's got all this money. And then this asshole in the back is screaming at him at an orphanage event, which, all right, that's fine, whatever, do what you gotta do. And then they're in the hotel lobby fighting. Like 10 guys are fighting in a hotel lobby. She gets shot. This is not like 1975 or 1980. There's cameras everywhere. They would be able to see
Witnesses.
what happened. There's a bunch of people around. Just because 10 people are there in a group doesn't mean nobody saw anything. And the whole investigation was, nobody's talking. You have to have cameras.
Yeah.
Go look at the fucking tape.
I
You
want to
know.
know. I don't understand why he was there. That guy, like I forgot his name, the Spanish dude.
I don't know.
Oh,
Like-
the low-level boxer.
Like,
Yeah.
why even there? Like, that was to me like, oh well, how do we set up his wife dying? Like, oh, the guy will just be at the homeless children.
Yeah,
thing.
like, oh, what are you doing this Friday? Now I'm going to go to
Yeah.
a children's fundraiser.
Yeah, and then
Children's
why do you
fundraiser.
have a gun at the children? Both of them.
Yeah.
His crew had guns. Everyone had guns.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the whole scene, and then she gets shot in the stomach and doesn't bleed at all, which is another like.
Well, they didn't really show that, but like I won't.
They zoom out.
They zoom
Yeah,
out, and there's no blood.
When he got into the car accident, walked into his house, and his daughter found him on the floor, there was more blood on the floor in that scene from his nose than there was
Yeah.
when she got shot in the lower abdomen. I mean, come on.
I won't even like get like
Yeah,
I
that's
understand
getting
that's a
too-
very
yeah.
minor thing
Yeah,
compared to
yeah,
the
yeah.
entirety of the whole thing, where you got this guy you're fighting in a lobby of a hotel room and the police can't do a goddamn thing to
Yeah.
find him, but now you're gonna sign a contract to fight him in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be wanted for murder?
Yep.
Like as an officer, what would really happen in that case?
Well, I'm not a homicide detective. Let's preface that, but
This is not legal advice.
yeah. So I mean,
Basically, don't shoot people.
you have leads and like you said, cameras and witnesses. The shell casing's got prints on it. Like there's all these different things you can do. That shitty handoff that happens with the handgun, 30 seconds after she gets shot. Like no one saw that. Like that was just like everyone was just crying and staring at her. No one saw the frantic movement from those two people that might have killed her. Like,
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. That whole scene's just very unrealistic. But it's a movie. But in my head, the fact that he was there, like I said, it was just an expedited rock bottom for the main character, and to me, it was like cheap feeling the whole movie, and that scene really kicked it off. Everything up until that point, you're like, okay, whatever, fine, this is just like a shitty intro, and then it just was downhill.
Downhill.
Yeah.
So, all right. You have this big boxer. His wife gets shot in a hotel lobby. You have another boxer who has to be somewhat well known because he's antagonizing him with his crew.
Yes.
How long would the police hold him until he actually gave up his crew or something happened?
It's a good question. I mean,
Because they clearly have probable cause to arrest these people.
yeah, you go to detain them.
Yes.
So you would detain them pending questioning, and that's the thing though, is you can lawyer up and just not talk, which is, I mean, that's a real possible outcome. If everyone there said, I'm not talking to you. You have Miranda rights in this country. That's it. There's no one's getting any info. And if you ever watch the first 48, the only things they solve is when they don't lawyer. As soon as they lawyer up, the cops are like, all right, we can't do anything. Like,
but
Tom
how
Segura
could the
says,
lawyer? How could a lawyer possibly help you when you know that one of these
They just
people?
tell you to shut the fuck up.
One of these people had a gun. You shot this person.
Yeah, I have, like I said, not a homicide detective. I've never been in one of these investigations, but the first 48's real. And if you ever watch that, they're like, my client says, he doesn't have no comment. We don't have it. He doesn't know. And that's it. And then essentially the cops get so frustrated. They're like, we have no. Then you're relying on eyewitness DNA or camera footage, whatever.
Yeah,
anything,
ballistics, maybe.
Anything.
Yeah.
I mean, ballistics are tough. You know where the bullet came from.
It's
not
not
going to help you
necessary,
figure out who shot it. Maybe the angle, but.
Yeah.
Well, your cousin fucking shot this guy's wife, so he's going to jail.
Yeah.
I don't know how boxing works, but I feel like if you're somewhat wanted for murder, or at least someone you're connected to, you're probably gonna have a suspended boxing license.
Yeah, maybe bad PR for the your promoter.
Yeah, maybe we don't set up this fight with Jake Gyllenhaal tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
So after they have this fight and nobody's talking and there's no cameras, they don't even mention cameras in the hotel lobby, which is absurd because I have cameras in my fucking gym. It's just nothing is explained about how he loses his life completely.
Yeah.
He just was all of a sudden he's broke. He
Wants to
needs
kill
all these.
himself.
He just won a fight. How could he be broke?
Yeah.
He bought 3 watches.
He bought 3 watches.
Yeah.
How could he be broke? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, shouldn't he be focusing on who killed his wife? I think that would have been a better movie, even though not even hard. That guy did it totally.
Yeah. Like if he was like running around looking for him, kind of like Punisher style.
Maybe even that would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of it
When
makes
he
sense.
shot him with his left hand.
Yeah.
Southpaw.
And like I said before, they could have done everything the same, and if Jake Gyllenhaal's character wasn't an asshole, it would have been such a better movie. Like even if loses all his money overnight, is a train wreck overnight, but he just wasn't an impulsive douche, it would have been such a good movie. But like they just shit the bed on that, in my opinion.
I think they fucked up with originally it was supposed to be with Eminem, so they had like a whole different script.
Yeah, he would kill that.
And then it changes over time because he didn't want to do the movie, or so he did the soundtrack, and then Jake Gyllenhaal comes in, who's not a lefty, so we're going to call this movie Southpaw, even though he's a right-handed boxer, and really hit it hard that the last punch has to be with his left hand.
Yeah.
Just nailed it, Southpaw.
Also, they could have definitely picked a better actress to play the wife, Rachel McAdams.
She was in the movie for 10 minutes.
She's got no emotion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen more emotion
I
in
like
Doorknob.
Yeah, I enjoyed.
I like
part.
her. She was
Yeah, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Let's move
You
on.
said yeah.
All right. So, yeah, Rachel McAdams sucks. You're right. So he's got to sign this contract to fight 3 people. He needs to put up 3 fights for HBO in order to get the payout.
10 mil fight, right? Or
Something ridiculous like that. And apparently he owes money all over town because he bought 6 watches and a car. Makes no sense. So he takes this 3-fight contract, but obviously he underperforms, and I don't know what he does, low blows or something like that.
Oh, he breaks the ref's nose with his forehead.
Yeah, he
Oh,
headbutts
yeah,
him,
And breaks his cheekbone.
And that's it.
we
Yeah.
would have forgot all about that. We watched it 12 hours ago.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Apparently, headbutting somebody constitutes a facial reconstruction for the referee.
Yeah, he's like suing for emotional damage. He's like, aren't you a boxing ref? Like, you get hit all the time. Like,
Yeah, that's like part of being in the ring.
So he gets kicked out of boxing after the first fight, can't afford his house. They take it like the next week. And in all reality, he's in no emotional state to be boxing. Like, he wasn't in a good emotional state before the first fight.
Yeah.
Now he's fighting with his dead wife on his mind. How am I going to keep my kid normal after all this? And it's possible that the other boxer you want me to fight killed my wife. I just can't get that out of my head.
It would have been more interesting if they fought and he like stabbed him in the ring or something to get like retribution, you know? If it was just like
walks up
great ending.
great ending, like walks into the ring and just pops him in the face with like a
like a good 30-minute movie. Just like you get up until that point and he just blows the guy's brains out in the ring, and that's it.
Yeah,
movie's over.
Yeah,
that's it.
That would have been over. 5 stars.
Oh man. So, all right, I got a lot of notes. I'm going through my notes here. Not in the mental state. 50 Cent makes him sign this contract, even though it's not going to help bring his wife back, and nobody's talking about, hey man, how you doing? Nobody's asking about that.
Yeah, like 50 Cent is always like, oh, it's all about family, not the money. But then like,
he said if it makes money, makes sense.
Yeah, and within such a short period, turned on him. I mean, they could have expanded that a little bit, or at least made it given more of a reason why he.
But you can tell that's where his character was going from the start. Soon as he's sitting by the pool with Jake Gyllenhaal's wife, like you could tell.
This is the next day.
Yes.
The next day. You just won a fight.
Yeah.
Why does he need 3 more fights?
Yeah. What happened to
Like,
that money?
can I enjoy myself for a fucking day? Like, he just wakes up, his body's broken, he's barely seeing straight, his eyes closed, and he's just walking up, hey, what's going on? Oh, you got to make your wife tell you got to sign this contract. Whatever she says, I don't know. We're not signing it. I don't know what's going on. I think I got brain damage.
He's got a smooth brain. Yeah.
Holy shit. And
The CTE.
after his wife dies, the trainer's like, man, I didn't see this coming. I don't know why he's not acting right.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. And all the announcers are just like, what once was a magnificent career is now turned into this.
Yeah, and 50 Cent sitting next to
The
guy-
other boxer killed his wife.
Yeah.
Like what? You couldn't have built that up a little more, maybe? Like, I don't know.
We needed him to kill your wife so that I could stop working for you and go work for this guy because he's the next big thing.
Is that the conspiracy that it was like set up maybe?
That would have been a better movie.
Yeah, that would have been a much
That
better
was
movie.
not established at all.
No,
There
the
wasn't.
accidental frantic scene in the lobby of that whatever banquet was like I said, pivotal point for that movie where it just went down. It could have done so many different things with that, especially considering it's like not based on a true story. There's never been anyone with any sort of career like that. It's just a weird choice. Every choice they made making the movie was just like, you made the wrong choice.
Yeah, 43 now. What is the best boxing record? Did we know?
I don't know personally. It's probably Floyd Mayweather though.
I can Google it.
We can Google it really fast. We do
Google
have Google machines. The best boxing record. Best boxing record. Win-loss. It's probably a better way to phrase that for Google, even though they might know.
Floyd Mayweather's 43-0.
That's it? So he's basically Floyd Mayweather?
So yeah.
Now imagine Floyd Mayweather. Okay.
With his Gucci mask on.
Now he's a high spender. He makes a lot of money, spends a lot of money, has a lot of cars, has a lot of houses, I'm sure. He's Team Money.
Sure, yeah.
Isn't that what he is, right? Team Money. Justin Bieber is in the back with Team Money. Go, go. Now, this is the same win-loss record as Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't even remember his name in the movie. I saw the movie.
Hope.
Billy Hope.
Yeah.
That's right. Great
Yeah,
white
Billy
hope
Hope.
because
Yeah.
every white people, we need that. Billy Hope. So now imagine Floyd Mayweather is at the top of his career, 43-0. His wife gets shot. Is he going to take a fucking fight with Logan Paul again?
It sounds like a great time to retire.
That's it. Well, I guess I made my money. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm also going to kill that motherfucker,
Like,
but it's unrelated.
I have an idea. Why don't I go raise my kid?
Yeah.
Instead of the weird curly-haired lady that was there raising her the whole time.
Now, Floyd Mayweather is the complete opposite of Billy Hope, as in he knows how to play defense.
Yeah, it's like his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows how to box, knows how to play defense, and never gets hit.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to get hit in the face in order to get aggressive and feel good.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a-
basic white people shit.
It's a great way to have, like, severe brain damage by the time you're, like,
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, that's like
drooling,
you
all
getting
the
on the
time.
CTE express train. You're
Yeah.
just like flying right towards it. Yeah.
Which is hilarious. If they really did mean to make that, like, a Floyd Mayweather thing, that's amazing because of 50 Cent's beef with the Mayweathers.
Does he have a beef with the
Oh my
Mayweathers?
God! Yeah, he called him out when they were doing the ice bucket challenge. Remember that, like 2 years ago? He told him, 50 Cent told Floyd Mayweather Jr. that if he could read a whole page of a Harry Potter book, and post it on Instagram, he would donate $750,000 to whatever charity he wanted. He's like, fuck the bucket ice, and throws it off the ice. Incredible, like one of the best beefs ever, I think. And that's hilarious that they put him in a movie that maybe was supposed to be about, Floyd Mayweather, but they're whichever one. That's crazy.
Could read a whole page of Harry Potter,
Yeah,
without.
Hold on,
Wait, what is
I'll
it?
find it. I saved on my Instagram. This is one of my favorite things ever.
We're trying to find out why Floyd Mayweather can't read. Can he read, or is that the question?
I don't know.
Or is it that
Maybe
he just
not.
doesn't like Harry Potter and snizzles?
No, I don't think Harry Potter has anything to do with it. I think it's
You
just
think he's just so?
I think it's an insult on his intelligence. I don't know if
Well, Billy can't read. Remember, he's trying to do his daughter. Oh no, he's trying to write the
He's
speech.
writing it
He's
down.
sitting. He's
In the
sitting.
closet.
Yeah, he's sitting in the closet that's bigger than my entire house, and his wife is walking around in lingerie with the daughter doing her homework right there, which makes sense.
All right, I found it.
Because I hang out with my mom, which is.
Which is
I mean, is that not weird? I mean, come on.
well, I mean, different, I guess.
Are you ready?
All right.
This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. Fuck the bucket of ice.
Like, how incredible is that?
1 page of Harry Potter book.
Oh my god.
Does he get to choose the book? Oh,
I don't
man.
think he ever did, but their beef has continued since. I don't know if I think it's still ongoing. Because
Oh.
50 Cent, I mean, he's a trip to follow on Instagram. if you ever
Yeah,
get
he
a
gets
chance.
into it with some other people.
Yeah, it's wild. That
Yeah.
guy just doesn't care.
Yeah.
But
Who's the other guy who does the fantastic interviews? The other boxer. Mike Tyson.
oh yeah,
Did you ever see his interviews?
Well, I saw them when he actually did them, not on YouTube.
yeah. I mean, YouTube.
Oh,
I've seen it on
really?
YouTube.
Yeah,
It's like
I know.
when ESPN was really good.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know words. You guys.
notes.
talk
Well,
about it.
remember when he was on
Covered.
that like Canadian news,
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
like, so
Yeah,
I
well,
heard
they
you're
told-
getting
they
rape
asked him why he
allegations.
went
He's
to
like,
Yep, yeah,
he's
he's
like,
like,
I'm
"You
not gonna
piece of
talk to
shit."
you rat bitch, piece of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
He's like, I don't like you, motherfucker.
Full disclosure, I didn't see any of those clips until like 6 months ago. Someone I worked with showed me.
Dude, he was an animal. Do you know how badass Mike Tyson was in the 90s?
I mean, he still is.
Dude, no, he's not the
difference-
same thing.
I mean, like, if you hear him talk, so he was on Joe Rogan's podcast
not
twice.
too long ago. Yeah.
And the first time he said he's never fighting again. And the second time he took the fight. And he is a different human being on those things. Like, it is insane.
Because he was all jacked up.
Yeah.
He's training on the second one.
Yeah.
And so
and-
Joe Rogan's like, that's the reason my table is bigger, because Mike Tyson got too aggressive.
Yeah, he's like, I was afraid.
I was afraid somebody might try to attack me.
Oh my god.
All right, let's get back to this.
Yeah,
wonderful
All right,
movie.
so he headbutts a ref, one bad fight, and now 50 Cent's here, and he's like, everybody's suing you. Your trainer's left. Your trainer's left? That's it? One bad fight?
Yeah.
See you later. We
Wow.
can't work with you
You
anymore.
won 43 fights, but you lost one. We're done.
Yeah,
This is it.
you
Unacceptable.
don't get to make
Yeah.
mistakes. No.
Yeah.
You're not on team money anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
And then it's just like they had this relationship with this guy for 10 years. No, goodbye. This is it. I can't play anymore. So, I don't know. Now you're getting sued by everybody. They got to sell the house just to pay everybody because you're getting sued. Is that how it works? Is that how quick it goes?
Yeah, there's no legal process. They just get sued
You're
immediately.
getting sued for $14 million. All right, here's your $14 million.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
I mean, like, he could settle. I don't know why you would ever do that.
But how long would that process take?
A while.
It's not like, oh yeah, tomorrow I owe you all this money.
I mean, that's civil stuff. I don't know how that works, but it's...
It wouldn't be tomorrow.
No, definitely not in one day.
Especially if he's got money, he's gonna have a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless he doesn't.
Well, he doesn't
no,
have. He bought
have any
watches.
money.
He doesn't have any more
He doesn't
money.
have
Yeah,
any money. I keep
yeah.
forgetting that. He's a undefeated boxer. Well, he's got one defeat now, but he has no money. Makes sense. All right. Now, I don't know. He's been beaten in the head for 20 years. His brain doesn't work. His wife
Very
handled all the
obviously, it
normal
does not
things.
work.
Can we talk
It's-
about how he's literally just all back muscle too?
He's fucking on some trend.
Yeah.
Did
but
you
no,
did you notice how
were
like
talking about
yeah
that,
he
but
What do you
is
think he was taking?
I don't
get
know.
in
Listen,
shape for this
when you're
movie.
when you're an actor and you're making a couple $1 million, you have the best coaches, you have the best nutritionists, you have the best doctor. So I'm sure whatever he was on was, perfectly dialed in. I mean,
Yeah.
he looks. I think he looked ridiculous he's all back. Like Dylan said, he's got like no arms.
Yeah,
He's
like
a frog.
his trap muscles are massive,
Yeah, he's
and his
huge.
stomach. Like, there's one scene he's sitting on the bed.
He just did pull-ups and sit-ups.
Yeah, and
for a year and a half. Like, to get ready for that movie.
Yeah, it looks like he has love handles, but it's because his oblique muscles are so big.
So massive, yeah.
Yeah, which
Just
is
an
crazy.
Awkward look.
Yeah.
He definitely took some testosterone to get into shape for this movie. But, listen, if you're looking for good coaches, I can help you out. I'm available. I'll get you into that shape. I'll get you into that dad bod shape. It's very nice.
No trend needed.
No trend needed. And, so we brought this up before where 50 Cent just started working with the other guy.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. It's just like, oh, yeah, I'm over here now. And Billy Hope walks into his office like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, after telling his dead wife that he was family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
we family.
Yeah.
He's like,
Family.
But I'm going to go represent your murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then he's like, make sure he pays for all that damage that he does on the way out. Like, dude, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
My wife just died.
If he wants to flip a table of chips and
Another
snacks
table,
outside
yeah.
of the
You have another fighter. You could pay for it. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
I just paid you for fucking 10 years for my undefeated career. What'd you spend that money on? This table?
Yeah.
It's my table now. Fuck yourself. The fuck with my wife was fucking murdered in front of me. Nobody's addressing this at all. It's never
Yeah.
once said throughout the entire movie. Hey man, how you holding up?
The one kid did. The one kid in his crew, and then he almost shot him in the face.
Yeah, then he said,
yeah.
"You're not part of this movie. Get out of here!
Yeah.
How dare you ask me about my dead wife?
Yeah.
You're the one who's supposed to protect her."
Yeah. Which I didn't understand. He wasn't the one with the gun. It was the other dude.
There's 10 other people.
Yeah, I mean, someone.
Yeah,
could've-
there's 3 people in his crew. What about the big fat dude? There's like he could have stepped in
Where-
front of her.
where did
He
they
had so
go?
much more.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah.
he had so much more like mass to stop
But
the.
where
bullet.
did
Why
they
would- Why
go?
would he pick the skinny bro?
But where did they go? And they all left.
Yeah,
The
it
next
was-
day, it's like, all right, we're out of the script, so I guess our parts are done.
Well, they
Yeah.
were no more watches.
I
The
think-
watch-
yeah,
the watch
I think
supply
they wanted to
dried
make
up.
the yeah.
Train has dried up.
Yeah, that was it.
My
That's
God.
it.
Yeah, I think they wanted to make the point that like they were only there for his money, but I guess his one friend wasn't. So I don't. And then he picks him up in like a Honda Civic and brings him to a,
Even if you're there for the money, like, you got to give it time before you go, oh, man, sorry, I got to go over here now. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just be like, well, gone. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, that like I said, those everything was just felt so like rushed.
Yeah.
It was just a rushed movie. They
It was- but it was-
they disappear immediately. His money disappears immediately.
But it was
Like,
it
he's
was
a
2
loser
hours
immediately,
The
you
movie
know?
was 2 hours and 16 minutes.
Yeah.
And they still had to rush everything.
Yeah.
Like,
If
is that not a problem?
They rushed through. Like I said, they rushed through a story that I could tell with like 5 sentences and like a funny picture.
yeah. I mean, like, I think if they wanted to really tell a story, it'd have to be like Gone Like the Wind, where you have to pull out the DVD, put DVD 2 in. It's like two separate.
we need a
it would
longer
be-
movie.
Yeah.
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 4
Yeah,
hours.
it would have been interesting if, I guess, I don't know where, but if they would have cut it and made a part 2, like the comeback. But
I kind of like endings where you don't expect it. Like
I
Like,
mean, it
well,
would
like,
have
what
been
if-
even
what if,
more
like-
outrageous if
what
he
if
hits
it-
rock bottom and the movie ends.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about like I don't know, aliens come and like abduct everybody?
Yeah,
I mean, that would have been. I mean, that would have
Did
been.
not see that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see. Did you ever watch Fargo, the series? I don't want to go too off track.
I didn't
but
watch the series, but I did watch the movie this morning.
Oh, really?
Well, some of it, yeah.
So in the series, it's like this whole murder mystery, and then they finally find a murderer at a hotel or something, and they get there, and there's this big bright light, and they all look up, and then aliens abduct everybody, and it's over. So it was like,
Spoiler alert on Fargo.
yeah, don't watch
There's
this.
aliens.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, there's
So,
aliens.
so
Yeah.
what you're saying, Dylan, is that you think that Southpaw should have included at least one alien abduction.
That's why nobody asks him about his wife. They're all aliens.
Yeah, they're all
I
yeah,
could
they're all lizard people.
That's
That would
the
make
only
more
explanation.
sense.
Yeah.
Considering the acting in that movie, that would make a lot more sense.
This is the best line in the movie. I wrote it down.
They're like very similar to like the Conehead style acting, the way everyone was talking.
France. We come from France. So the best line in
We
this
are
movie
family.
is when they're in 50 Cent's office right before right after he headbutts the ref, and 50 Cent's justifying his actions of being his manager with, I know you miss Maureen, but if she was here right now, she'd be disgusted with you.
Yeah, who says that? What the fuck?
Dude, his
I
fucking
would
wife
ring
just
that
died.
guy's fucking bell. if he
Oh,
did.
I would fucking
How do
kill
you
that
tell
motherfucker.
someone who's like, their job is to hurt people that. Like, with no fear, just like you're. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what your dead wife said. Like, listen, I could talk to her.
Well, the best
Like,
part. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's
I was gonna say the best part is like he flipped a table of food because he said you can't fight somebody, and then he insults his dead wife, and he's just gonna get up and walk away, like this angry guy who gets pissed off at
You know why I
everything.
think 50 Cent acted this way. It's because he's actually been shot in fights. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal just plays an actor.
Yeah.
It's like, motherfucker, you ever been shot? I have.
Yeah.
So your wife would be disgusted with you because mine was.
Oh my God.
How dare you get shot?
Yeah, that was just another rush thing, you know. Just like I said, everything was built up so fast. How do you get him to? So all right, so wife dies, loses all his money, or whatever, loses the fight, loses money, and then the next step 7 is break ties with his manager or whatever. I guess his
Yeah, we got to get rid of him.
Yeah. So how do you do that? Say some stupid shit about his wife. Now he hates him. Storms out. Needs security to like escort him out. So another rushed point of the story.
Yeah.
And you still hate Billy Hope. He's still a terrible.
But you know what? I feel bad for him because nobody's trying to help him.
I mean,
Yeah, the one person did try and help him though. He put a gun in his face.
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah.
So I would want to help him. I don't want to get shot. Like,
I guess everybody knew his character, and
Yeah.
they're like, listen, we're not going to help him because he's just going to try and shoot us in the face.
All right, fair. But that doesn't make me like him more.
No, but at some point, I got to feel bad for him. Like, nobody's around. This one guy who's still around is his friend. He's the only one trying to help him, even though he's trying to shoot him in the face. And it's just like every time he goes up to somebody, what's going on? Yeah, well, you need to do this and do this better. You're doing terrible. Well,
I think they could have done everything exactly the same in this movie, and him not be an asshole, and it would have been a different movie. Like, his wife could still die. He could still be a champion. He could still like getting the shit beat out of him before he becomes a good fighter. And he could hit rock bottom, could found a new gym. That orphan could have died. Everything could have been exactly the same. But if he wasn't an asshole, it would have been a much better movie.
Yeah.
There's no good reason in the plot of this movie that he's such a idiot, really.
you know when they give out these awards for best director, best writer, best actor? How do you know when it's who did what well? Like, the director directed him good, so he was a good actor, or did the actor make a better choice?
I've
I don't
never
understand.
thought of that once in
Like,
my
when
entire
does the actor take over the writing part? Like, how much of the writer did the writer actually write the movie after it went through 5 million changes, and the director had?
Well,
I
I
went to
don't-
film school and I still don't understand this question.
I don't think they'd had to worry about that though, because everything was
doesn't it
horrible.
start from the-
Everything was horrible in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, they're not getting any
not winning
fucking
shit,
awards.
let's just get it done.
Yeah, they're like, let's
Right,
just
but
put
at
the
what
movie
point,
out.
like, do I blame Jake Gyllenhaal for playing this character so poorly, or do I blame the writing team for writing the movie so poorly, or the director for accepting all of that and going, yes?
This should have not. I would blame the writers. This
Yeah,
should
I don't-
have not
yeah.
passed the table read.
He's
Should
yeah.
have thrown it in shredder immediately. Should have been like, let's rewrite. There's a million boxing movies already. This is not the one to spend however much money it costs.
Have you ever seen the movie Great White Hype?
No,
No.
never even heard of it.
That movie's fucking phenomenal.
It's a boxing movie.
It's a boxing movie about this. It's Damon Wayans. First of all, it's a comedy. Damon Wayans plays a high-level professional boxer, you know, like the best in the world. And there's an up-and-comer white guy who is like training real hard, and he's gonna take on Damon Wayans. And Damon Wayans like, I'm not even gonna train for you. Like, you are nobody. And like, they get to the fight. Spoiler alerts on Great White Hype, guys. But this movie's like 30 years old, so if you haven't seen it, fuck you.
Fuck yeah.
Don't cancel me.
Yeah.
So the white guy is played by, oh man, he's a director now. What the hell's his name? I think he directed Friday Night Lights. Anyways, whatever. So he's training real hard. He looks shredded for the fight. Damon Wayne comes in. He's eating ice cream. His belly's fat. He's just like,
Oh, like Butterball.
oh, he looks terrible. So bad. And they fight, and it's Terry Conklin's like trying to hit him, and he's like, "You trying to embarrass me on TV?" He just fucking lays him out.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
The fat dude lays out the.
Yeah, Damon Wayans wins the fight.
And that's the movie.
It's better than that. but-
Okay. There's one of my favorite. Not that I've seen a lot of them, but my favorite boxing movie, I think, believe it or not, is the one with. I guess it's Mark Wahlberg. I think.
Yeah, I was
Fighter?
right about to say The Fighter. Yeah,
Fighter?
That's a great movie.
Yeah. That's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, when Christian Bale.
Christian
Not
Bale plays
yeah.
Dickie Rob.
Yeah.
What the hell is his name? I'm bad with names now, guys.
Yeah.
Dickie
I
Robinson
don't know
was
anybody.
that was Mark Wahlberg, right?
Wahlberg played Mickey Ward.
Oh, Mickey Ward.
Yep,
Yeah. That's
Mickey
who it
Ward.
was.
So
Yeah,
he
that's
played
a
Dickie
fantastic
Ward.
movie.
Dickie Ward?
Yeah, where his brother's like a
Such a
drug
good
addict,
name.
right, in that movie.
Yeah.
Well, his brother. Yeah, the whole premise was that his brother beat Sugar Ray Leonard.
He didn't beat him.
but he
knocked
slipped.
him down.
Yeah, he knocked him down, and so like that was the whole. I think he was
lives
fucked up
off
on
that.
drugs because he knew in his mind that he didn't actually win, right?
Well, he was just fucked up on drugs just because he was fucked up.
Okay, now all right, so that movie exists, right?
But that's a true story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's portrayed beautifully. That's a
Yeah, I thought it was
that movie
pretty
is. I think that movie is phenomenal, and I'm assuming that predates South Paw. I'm almost positive it does.
It
That's
does,
an old
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
right?
I
Yeah.
don't know if it does it.
Let me
Yes.
look.
No,
We'll have to
definitely.
look.
Yeah, the
Definitely?
fighter.
Alright.
The fighter's from
Alright.
2002, I think, right? Southpaw's 2012. I don't know. Maybe
I don't
check.
think it
But
was
listen,
not.
so if it does predate it, that movie exists, right? And
Uh-huh.
then you're the writers of Southpaw, and you're like, all right, let's make a boxing movie. This exists.
Yes, it predates.
Yeah.
2010, 2015.
How do you even
so I was
try
totally off.
to beat that or make something about in the same topic with Southpaw?
Yeah.
Like
well,
at some point there had to be someone going like, this is a piece of shit. Like we need to throw this out.
I think that's the problem. Is too many people said it was a piece of shit, and too many people wanted to change it. So then the producers
It
come
just
in.
even
We got
became-
it. Just
yourself
became
licking
su-
ice cream cone
like
of
I'm
shit.
sure the original script was probably somewhat decent,
Yeah.
and it was written for an actual
Like
lefty
I said, the
athlete.
story
You know what-
makes. I mean, it's a typical. It's like a.
It's a basic,
typical
basic
story.
bitch
Yeah.
movie.
You know what it seems like? It seems like they try to keep adding stuff to the plot to make up for like whatever was lacking, and they try to squeeze so much in. Like we've said before, that's what happened. Like it was probably such a shitty movie that they're like, oh, maybe if we add this, it'll be better.
Yeah.
And that's how they got a storyline, a 5-hour storyline to be squeezed into 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Basic elements of a storyline, right? From like
Oh,
third
boy.
grade.
Writing 101 now.
From third grade.
The climax.
Yeah. Well, I gotta find it.
We got to build up.
Hook?
We got an intro.
Oh fuck.
We go intro.
Well, it's like, what about the
Introduce
call to
characters.
journey? The hero? Would
Yeah.
he be technically a hero? Like his call to journey,
That's what
right?
I'm saying.
Is that
They tried to make him the protagonist, but he sucks. He's a terrible person.
You know what-
How do you do that?
You know what would have like really been great if his wife died and then well
Just
right.
end it right there.
yeah
And
that was it.
His
No.
wife died
So
and the
this
movie
is
ended.
like this is like what they teach you in third grade, right? Hook, characters and setting. So they tell you he's an idiot, with less words. You see all his friends, you see how successful he is. Then there's a problem, which is his wife getting murdered. Then there's rising action, which is his downfall, the turning point, the resolution, the falling action, and the conclusion. It's like
They missed all of the middle
There
part.
was
I think that
there was no falling action. I feel like he just was there.
I mean,
Maybe the fight,
that
the
was
last
definitely
fight?
expedited. I guess the resolution is the last fight.
Is it? They still don't know who murdered his wife.
Yeah, you're right. But
There's
I mean,
no resolution. Just because he beat the guy at the end with his left hand
yeah,
on the last punch, that doesn't resolve the movie.
yeah.
His wife is
and
still
by the
dead.
way- by the way, that fight, he looks and he sees the empty chair, right? Like they missed a big opportunity to where he could like bring his daughter out because like she never gets to see the fights and she always complains. Like that would have.
Well, they explain that she wasn't allowed to go to the fight or something like that. They
Nah,
wouldn't
she's
let
in the
her.
back. She's like in the green room
Yeah.
with the babysitter. And if they would have brought like. If there was another opportunity to make at least me as a viewer to like him more, if he was like, all right, bring my daughter out. His wife's dead. Like you still got a family, dude. Like put her in that seat.
Yeah. What about when he's sitting in the shower alone? Like nobody's
around.
Nobody's around. Everybody
Nobody helps
left.
him but his wife.
He's
Like
just
he's got
naked
no trainer.
in the shower.
Like she cuts his socks off, so he's not there, and she's not there anymore, so nobody cuts his socks off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on with this movie?
I don't know. Like,
F this movie. Fuck
Yeah.
this movie.
but so what they really should have done, what would have been great, is like before his wife died, if he finds out that like, or like right after she dies, that dude that wanted to fight him, she was giving him like schlop tops in the back, like she was cheating on him or
Well,
something,
listen,
and
he
then
said,
like,
he's like,
and then
"I'm
like,
big
then he
now,
turned
take his
into,
belt." That's
yeah,
their quote.
yeah. I mean, like, and then he turned into an asshole. Like he was a nice guy, and his wife was
Yeah.
actually like a piece of shit, and then he turned into an ass. That would have been pretty cool.
That would have made sense.
That would have
Yeah.
made sense, right?
Yeah, I mean he was already an asshole.
Yeah.
But see, I like they kind of justify with him being an orphan, so he's like got a chip on his shoulder about the world. So like, I can see him being not the best sport.
Okay, well, if you're in my head, you're an orphan, right? Not that I don't
I have
know.
no-
what that,
yeah.
I don't know what that feels like, but all right, why do you got a $4 million house and 12 cars and buy watches? Why don't you give
Yeah.
some of that money back?
Well, that's what he did with the charity. He would show up and raise money for the charity, and then
Yeah,
he got
yes.
into a
And I guess so
confrontation
did that
with the
other
gentleman
guy.
who he had to fight at the end, because that's how the world works.
Yeah.
We just go into a boxing match and we fight our wives' murderers.
Yeah, and when they're in the lobby of that place right before his wife dies, there's like 100 cameras around the dude I don't know his name. The guy who his
his name
opponent.
either.
He looks Martinez.
He's like
That's what I
getting
wrote it
interviewed
down.
by like the press. He's got like the paparazzi there, and still, there's no legitimacy to like. They don't build up this guy at all. He's just there, and he's just an ass.
Yeah. No, they don't build him up. All right. We didn't even discuss how he loses his child in the
Yes.
middle of all this.
Yeah.
Now, he gets into a car crash because wants to kill himself because he's so depressed and nobody in the movie is helping him out or asking him how he's doing. So he's so depressed, even his child is like, what's wrong with you? And then he tries to kill himself, walks into the house, his child calls 911 and the police immediately arrest him or take him to the hospital and then they take his child away. Is that how that works?
Well, they said they arrested him because he had a loaded gun, but if you're on your own property, you can pretty much, I mean, you can.
Depends on the state and depends on the circumstances.
All right, what's the
If you're a
law
felon-
here in New
Well, if
Jersey?
you're a felon, you can't have a weapon.
Is he a felon?
Ever. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
He said-
remember, he said he was
in jail.
incarcerated, yeah.
I don't know.
Because
if
his
it
wife
for
was
a
like,
felony, but
he was like, oh, my wife stuck with me
there's
through
some
the
very rare
incarceration.
instances where if you've been convicted of a felony, you can own a weapon.
Okay,
But they're
so
rare.
he has a loaded gun in the car. He gets arrested for that.
If typically, like I said, every state's different, every town's different. But like in my experience, if there's no one to care for the kids, instead of just throwing them in a home, they'll do everything in their power to give them to someone. That is a family member. Usually, I guess he has no family, but like any of those dudes, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see a problem with that scene. That all kind of made sense.
So they take the child away. They go to court, and he can't even see his child.
That's
for
Yeah,
30
he
days.
can't hug her. Yeah, he
No,
can't.
I don't think that's how that works.
Like family court, he wouldn't be able to just have a
We don't.
custody.
I just see the initial. Like I don't ever.
ever see the court
Yeah.
process.
But I mean, family courts. I don't think their goal typically is to keep families together. Not to if there's adequate care. The outcome they rather see is keep a family together rather than take them away because of one mistake.
Yeah, and then he spends like half the movie trying to earn his daughter's love back.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And she doesn't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
So the only argument in the custody hearing was, does the child have family? And she didn't, or he didn't. So I don't even think they give him a reason. Like, we're just going to check on you in 30 days. She didn't like, you have to go to anger management or anything. I don't think there was anything like
No
that.
drug tests.
There wasn't a drug test. It was just, you have 30 days to clean up your life.
I guess the job, right?
Oh, he had to show he had a job, and then he had to
Which
take.
he was like,
But he's a boxer.
well, he was like cleaning toilets and shit. Or they might have the timeline messed up.
No, yeah, but like, that's true. Yeah, he had to prove he had a job or that. But he was a professional boxer.
Yeah, I don't know.
His license was suspended, but at that point, then he's a stay-at-home dad.
I guess they want income to be able to care for a kid. But
What
I
is he
don't
gonna
know
do?
what-
Go back to school? He can't even do his daughter's fucking homework. I mean, like, he's trying to give a speech at the charity. He's like, yeah.
checking people out.
Like, I just don't understand this movie. Like, how did this fucking happen? Then he goes to the worst gym. I don't even understand how he found this guy. He
Yeah,
goes
they
to-
don't make that clear.
They don't ever make. It's like, yeah,
anything
drop
about-
me off in the middle of the street and drive away. Don't ever stop. Don't wait for me.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
going
they
into
don't
this
make it
closet.
clear
I'll walk home.
how he found that guy or
He didn't have a home.
Uphill both ways. Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Oh
He
yeah,
didn't have-
exactly.
He had
Yeah.
nowhere to go. The guy could have just gone in the gym with him, and they could have talked to this trainer together. Like, hey, yo, you got my back? All right, cool. I'm gonna train, and then we'll go back to your house and play video games.
Yeah, and then
no.
but then he got an
Yeah.
apartment, and then
Then
like
he-
with your house just got repo. Your credit score's got to be 0. Like, how are you going to get an apartment?
Cash.
Well,
That's
what
pretty
cash? He
But if he
bought
had cash,
watches.
then
He's
what
got
was
no
the
cash.
problem?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. There's more than one way to get it, like a shitty living arrangement. I thought that was all right.
Where was that friend sleeping? Can I sleep on your couch?
Well, based on his car, probably in his car.
I will sleep in your car also.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he went from so much to so little so quickly.
Yeah, it's rushed. Everything was rushed. The
Everything
whole
was
movie's
so rushed. And then he goes upstairs and he's like, hey, Forrest Whitaker, will you train me? I need to learn defense. And the guy's like, I can't train you. You're too old. Get
Stop
out.
cursing.
Stop
Yeah,
cursing
stop
in my
cursing.
gym.
He's like, hey man, no curse. He's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I won't curse. Fuck yeah. He's like, oh fuck, I didn't mean to
Fuck
say
do
that.
you
Yeah.
mean no cursing? Get out of my gym.
Yeah.
Why are the boxing trainers, like in Rocky and in this movie, why are they all like old decrepit dudes who have one fucked up eye? Like,
Well, I mean, Forrest Whitaker has a fucked up eye. I don't think that's specific to boxing trainers.
I could see what you're saying though. They all fit the same.
Oh, actually,
persona.
you're thinking of $1 Million Baby. Morgan Freeman also has a fucked up body.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, they get punched in the face a lot, Dylan. Come on.
But like he's right. They all fit the same
on, it's
persona.
only-
They're
it's
all
only-
very like old salty dudes. Just like why you got a gym? Like retire. Like everyone's just mad to be there all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you were miserable.
Yeah. Like, did you see the movie with the brothers? I think it's like Warrior or something.
Oh, with Tom Hardy?
Yeah, Tom Hardy and the other
Okay.
dude.
I didn't
Like,
see it, but yeah.
His trainer. That is the only fighting movie that I've seen. His trainer is like,
Wait, is that Tom Hardy?
yeah,
Yeah,
Tom
Tom
Hardy.
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. I don't know the other guy's name, but his trainer is like, 35-year-old jack dude who knows how to fight. Like, okay, that makes sense a little bit.
Yeah.
But some dude who looks like he works on a dock and smokes 6 packs a day is going to teach me how to throw a punch. Like, are you shitting me?
Like this.
Yeah. He looks like he fights like you ever see the old Irish dudes like
Yeah.
barroom boxing.
That'd be great from like Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great scene in that movie. We'll do that movie, but as another F this movie of how good it was.
Yeah. Don't fuck this movie.
Fuck this movie for being too good.
Did you ever see Barfly?
I have not.
No. Oh, okay, never mind.
What is
Where were we
Barfly?
with,
Yeah.
This wonderful movie that we were at. Where did we leave
Oh,
off?
the shitty trainer.
Yeah, so I guess we're at this point. We're talking about that gym
Yeah.
that he joins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The orphan kid having to die even more was like,
Worse.
I'm like,
Oh my
What
God.
do we need that for?
They did it again. Like this was just like, how do we get the trainer to do a 180 immediately? And you kill a kid. I guess that's the solution.
What
Like,
did you need
That's
that
how-
for?
You
That's
didn't.
always the
That's what I'm
solution.
saying. It's just a terrible. Just you could tell they wrote the story and they had good like key points, but the how to get from one to the next was just poor execution every time.
Yeah.
And that was just a wasted emotion that you put the audience through for no reason. Literally useless. But that's
Yeah.
my thoughts on that whole thing.
But just like, if you throw enough shit, something's gonna stick. I think
Yeah, I
they just like
guess.
kept piling stuff
Nothing
onto. I
stuck
forgot
for
that
me.
even happened. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Which I mean,
I mean
like,
that's the go-to though. Like
to me that was the saddest part of the whole movie because the wife thing avoidable, him losing his kid avoidable, like that was the only part that was like, all right, this is kind of sad, but that was it.
yeah. I think.
and it was unnecessary. Totally unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, this whole movie was unnecessary.
Yeah,
If
they
you
could've just
wasted
not
your
made it.
money
Wait.
in 2015 to go to the theater and watch this movie, I feel sorry for you.
You're gonna get a cease and desist
But
from
he-
like,
You should
FCC.
sue whoever made this movie, probably
So-
Miramax.
So he comes in. He's like,
Yeah.
I need a job, and you got a 43 and 1 fighter now, standing in front of you that says, I need a job. It's not, oh, you can help the kids learn how to punch, teach them technique. No, you're gonna clean up toilets. You're gonna wipe shit off of toilets.
It's like,
Like,
it's like
It
Karate
makes
Kid.
no
I mean,
sense. And in his boxing career, he's made no connections with other people other than 50 Cent and those trainers
Yeah.
who now train the other guy
Yeah.
and who all represent the. Like, first of all, what happened to that Spanish guy's trainers and his team?
Yeah.
Does he not have representation? Does he not have good trainers? Why did he have to take Jake Gyllenhaal's team, Billy Hope's?
Yeah.
What the hell was that? We
Yeah.
need to go on the other side so that we create drama and conflict,
Exactly.
even though it makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just poor execution. Like or like I don't know, it just made no sense. You're right. Imagine if Conor McGregor lost the next 5 fights and he showed up to any gym in this country and was like, I need a job. He would own that gym in like 2 weeks. He wouldn't be cleaning toilets.
What does he have on his pinstripes?
I don't know.
I think it says "fuck you" in his pinstripes.
Oh my god.
But
You
yeah.
haven't seen that? That's good. Hold on,
No.
we're gonna pull that up real quick. Conor McGregor's pinstripes. God damn it! I'm bad at
Best he was getting into like bar fights with just regular people for a while.
McGregor?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he threw that fucking gate at that bus. This guy's got. Listen, man, you're the. Like he says, the champ does what the champ wants.
He does what he wants. That's true. Especially he puts "fuck you" in his pinstripes.
Is
It's
it
just
really?
yeah.
way.
It's just like
Oh, in
in
his
the
tie?
lines. It just says
Oh,
"fuck
my
you."
God.
Fuck.
That's fantastic. You ever see the video of him throwing Monster at that dude?
No.
Oh, okay. This is another distraction here.
Another distraction from our F This Movie podcast, Southpaw edition. I don't even know how long we've been talking about this, but we're
Wow.
not. We're just getting into the fight scene. With first of all, the kid hates Billy Hope. because her mother died, and Billy Hope couldn't fix it, and he couldn't take care of her. So now he let her get into the orphanage home, which I still think doesn't make any sense because they didn't require any like reasonable information on how he can get her back. And then he goes to visit her, but she doesn't want to see him, so he can't see his daughter. He has no friends. His trainer hates him, and he has to clean up toilets. At this point, I think I'd just kill myself.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
You
I
almost
agree.
did twice.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think they just set
It's
the
very
rock
sad.
bottom. They put rock bottom too low.
It was like
was
he's
like-
already there. Let's
Yeah.
keep burying
Yeah,
him.
it was like he thought he hit rock bottom, and then he realized that rock bottom has a basement.
Instead
and
of them spending so much time with him at rock bottom, they could have just made the progression to rock bottom much more graceful, I think. You know, like slowly lose the money, do some actual dumb shit to lose your kid, like stuff like that. Instead of just like, last week you were a millionaire with a wife and a kid and now you have nothing.
And it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here's
The aliens came and
McGregor
took it.
thing I
And the
found.
aliens came and changed everybody's mind on Billy Hope. Nobody likes him anymore. He's a terrible boxer. What you got?
I could send you this. Oh, it's not going to load. I was saying this video, you could like clip it in.
We're gonna get send it to me, and we'll try to not get kicked off of YouTube for copyright
All
infringement.
right, I'll send it to you.
So maybe we'll try to mimic the movie or a video. Hopefully, we don't get kicked off YouTube for this one.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I'll get copyright strike.
No shit.
So let's not do that.
It's just him screaming at people. He throw
I
rips,
mean,
rips a monster.
am
can
I
at
really
someone.
going to get a copyright strike? Probably not. But they do scan the video and audio, and they check for copyright infringement.
I don't know. This podcast might set you over.
I'm not going to include any clips on Southpaw. So if you guys want to see it, it is available on the Roku channel or probably Amazon if you want to buy that.
You should not pay for it. Whatever you do,
Or just
pay
don't
for
watch
movie.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Or if we've spoiled it so much, then thank God, because we'll save you an hour and 48 minutes. Of
This
your
podcast
life.
might be just as long. You're better off watching
this
this.
podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
You'd probably get more entertainment out of like a white wall that you could just stare at and watch paint dry maybe for a little while. I mean,
Probably.
And then, all right, so he
The
wins.
fight scene very uneventful, by the way. The final, if that's where we're at, if that's what we're
We
talking
are
about.
on Forrest Whitaker giving drunk advice to him while
Oh,
having
yeah.
no sympathy, and it's the worst advice ever. He's like, just you got to deal. You got to deal.
I mean, he's right.
No, but he doesn't even say that. He says something doesn't even make sense. I don't even remember what he says,
Yeah.
but I just remember watching it going, what the hell is he talking about?
Imagine that's your boxing coach. Like, you know where he goes to get shit hammered every night, like at the same bar. Like, dude, like you said, like, why is he a boxing coach?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you have someone who's like actually athletic?
Did he know that he had like high level boxers under his wing? Like, there's no backstory to this guy. It's just
No, not at all.
just
There's just like you can kind of like vaguely see there's like pictures in his office.
Yeah, and
of,
that's
like,
it.
and he's like,
champions,
I don't
like
train
belts.
pros anymore. And
Yeah.
It's like
It's like what?
he's like, I don't train pros
Yeah,
anymore.
they just
And it's
insinuated
just
that-
like
that
that he
at
was
some
a great
point
Oh, that
coach.
was the line that explained
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Then he went from
yes.
like a great coach to having a shitty gym and orphans. So it's like I don't. There wasn't a backstory
Like,
to it.
what happened to him? Like, I want to know.
I don't know.
Let's make up a story right now. Forrest Whitaker. They had the pro fight. He had everything in his life.
He's the fighter. Or he's training the pro fighter. He's the fighter.
No, he was training this. He had two really high caliber boxers.
Two. Okay.
And then one gets killed,
All right.
and
Gets
the other
shot.
one gets
Later.
shot by the other one. There's no investigation.
and then
At
and then
all.
he drinks too much and his eye turns
he
blue.
drinks too much, and nobody has sympathy for him.
Yeah.
So he's got no sympathy for
Think
Billy
he
Hope.
bought any watches or no?
He bought a lot of watches.
Yeah. How many?
Like 6 watches.
Oh
And now he's
it's
got a
fucked.
crappy gym, and he's
Yeah.
destined to deal with Billy Hope cleaning it
Yeah.
horribly. Don't you dare go over there and try to teach him to box. I wasn't. It wasn't me.
I don't even remember that thing. Is that what he did?
Yeah, like he was showing
Oh,
him.
he was trying to keep him away from the kids, right?
Yeah, he was trying to keep him away from the kids.
Yeah, because he sees him talking to the one that eventually gets killed, right? And he
Which
gets
is
mad at
like,
him.
dude, at that point, aren't you an inspiration to
That's
these
what I'm
kids?
saying.
Well, it's
Like,
just-
don't
like
these
I said-
people know
Like
who
I said,
you are?
Imagine Conor McGregor loses the next 5 fights that he's in, and you tell me he's not going to walk into any MMA gym.
He'll walk into any gym,
Yeah, here,
any
it
place,
doesn't matter.
restaurant, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I want to work here. I need a job. What do you want to do here? Just stand in front
Yeah.
and attract people? Because that's
We'll
all
just,
you'd
like,
be able
okay,
to do.
you'll just we'll just tell people you're here.
Yeah.
All right, and then that'll be it.
We'll
And
give
then-
you what do you want? Because I can't
Yeah.
afford it, but we'll talk about it.
You could just sit in this chair and we'll tell people you could like shake your hand, and you just made us however much money. Any business.
So the kid that he was talking to dies. Is that what happened?
Yeah, he gets
So
killed.
so maybe the problem is that everything he touches dies. I mean, like
Ooh, that's interesting.
Dylan's playing 3D
Oh,
chess.
Now the movie just got a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Billy Hope is the worst thing in the world, and anything he touches dies. But then in the boxing ring, it doesn't. Maybe it flips
The last fight.
in all of them. I don't know. I'm sort of ranting at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
The fight scene was not. All the build up, the whole movie's build up to that scene. Obviously, that's the climax or whatever.
The whole build, it's the build up to that last punch,
Yeah.
so that they can justify the title of the movie.
Nothing special.
Why
That
did he
scene
even
is
go
nothing
Southpaw?
special.
What was
I
it,
don't
what was
know.
it like? What did that get him?
Nothing.
What like he went Southpaw and did he hit him with his left hand or his right hand?
Yeah, that's
Southpaw's
like,
left.
Southpaw's just
Well, I'm
reverse.
saying, did he throw like
He's
if
righty.
your strong hand is your right, and then you switch, like what is that? What is he opening
Well,
up his
you're
stance so the guy's like
so
open to him?
If I'm gonna punch you, if this is my forward hand, and you're gonna block, used to be blocking a straight punch, or I guess it just changes your defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
So
know how to explain it.
but I'm saying like why did they like they made him he switched because he couldn't hit this guy and now all of a sudden
Because supposedly they were building it up, other than they needed the title of the movie to be justified, that he wouldn't expect him switching styles to Southpaw,
Yeah.
so it would.
Which
create
that's
some
a
sort of-
legitimate technique. You know, like you
I'm
like,
sure it is.
like my very little experience in MMA, you switch stances all the time because that back kick, you're not expecting it to come from the other side.
but they're not
No, they're not kicking,
yeah,
but I mean it's the same theory with the
yeah,
punch. You know, like
yeah.
your two is always going to be a little more powerful. You throw
Yeah.
using your hips.
Even
So-
the commentators or the announcers of the fight were like, "Oh my God, he switched his stance to Southpaw! What an amazing fight and the courage!"
yeah. Just those are the same guys that like he lost one fight. Like this guy's fucking done. His career's over. This is it.
Your magnificent career is over. Oh my God, he's back, and look,
Yeah.
he used his left hand, and he played some defense. Look at he almost didn't get punched in the face 1,000 times.
Yeah, maybe now he'll live past 40.
Nope,
Probably
gonna
not.
happen.
Probably not.
Well, anyways, that's our rant on Southpaw.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a rating. Honest rating.
Honest rating?
Out of what 4
Out
or
of
5
10,
10?
we'll do like Dave Portnoy rates pizzas, like no even numbers, point something, 0 to 10.
Wait, what do you mean? No even numbers?
He doesn't do if you do
Like, you
like,
can't do, like,
alright, so, like he
8.0.
rates a pizza like if someone says like a 5, he's like that's a rookie score. It's got to be like you need to get more specific. So like 5.1, 5.2.
to
All right, so
two
let's break
significant
this
figures.
Let's break this down into categories. In terms of acting, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give the entire movie a 3.6.
Okay.
I'm not that critical because I don't know if any actor. I think the story was such shit that it's not their fault that they were so bad at it.
Daniel Day-Lewis would have crushed that movie.
I don't know.
He
dude.
would have
I
been a
don't think so.
10.9
I think that
off the charts.
that's like me giving you a pile of shit and be like, make something beautiful with this. You're like,
Daniel Day-Lewis played a boxer in the movie The Boxer.
All right,
And
I'm
he
gonna
was
give the
fantastic.
acting
I think it was in the movie
4.2.
Boxer.
4.4.
I'm gonna go with like a 2.1. I mean, I watched Rachel McAdams in a scene that she's supposed to be crying, no tears coming down her face, wipe the tears away. Like, where's the
Yeah,
emotion?
but she's attractive, so it's okay.
Well, yeah, so I give it a 3.6 because if she was attractive in underwear.
yeah.
for a
Imagine if
while,
that was
you know,
like,
it was good.
what's her face? The one that I'm not gonna say. different, very unattractive actress.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. In terms of writing, I give it a 0.8.
Yeah, but less than. I'm gonna go 0.5.
Terrible.
Can we
terrible.
give negative scores? Can we take away from the value of the movie?
There's
I
no
just-
rules here.
No.
Yeah, there's no rules. Do
rules
whatever you want.
All
dude.
right,
It's
yeah,
your day.
It just diverges to negative infinity.
I don't-
Like, just doesn't stop.
There was multiple chances, I'm sure, when this movie was being made where they could have just scrubbed it and they didn't, and that's like it was just so bad. Everything, the writing to me was the worst part. There's nothing else. The acting, the even the like continuity problems about the blood, all of that is pales in comparison to the poor
story.
writing.
They
Yeah,
probably
sorry.
could have gotten more out of their money if they just burned it. Like,
Yeah, if they didn't make
like
this
they
movie
just
at
were
all.
like, oh, it's a little cold in here.
I
Let's
wonder if
make a
this
little
movie
fire.
made
Yeah.
any money.
I'm sure it did. That's the thing is like movies like this.
Because it was like a yeah.
I don't
Because
know.
I was walking out of the house today. My dad's like, what movie you guys shitting on today? I was like, Southpaw. He's like, oh, it's a good movie. I'm like,
No, it's not.
Were you there when you?
I don't know
Were you
if this
asleep?
if this is a me thing, but I've talked to other people who have the same experience. Movies that I hate, critics love, and vice versa. It's like always the case. Like Rotten Tomatoes, I'll be like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. Rotten Tomatoes, like,
This movie has a
2%.
7.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which is...
what's Rotten Tomatoes?
Hold on, I want to find out.
Like Dylan and I like Biodome, which is like,
Great movie.
I think that movie is comedic genius. I love that movie. I watched that movie. If you told me I had to watch that movie 4 times a day for the rest of my life, I would have no problem with it. And if you go online, they're like, this movie made human race worse. Like it made everyone.
But you know that movie's based on a true story.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Biodome?
is. There was a biodome in Arizona
Stop.
in the early 90s.
We gotta-
It
we're
lasted
about to go
2
on a
weeks.
trip.
Purple sticky punch.
It lasted 2 weeks before the scientists inside almost lost their minds and ran out of food.
No shit.
Yeah, something crazy like that because it was too many
Free
scientists.
mahi mahi.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh my god! All right, and in terms of the overall movie, I will give it a score of. I'm gonna go a little bit higher at 5.2, and I'll tell you why. Because I got to make a podcast about it, about how much I hated it, and I am overly critical. I'll admit that, and I think we all are. In a
Yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
But
Yeah, we're
this
all-
movie, it did entertain me in a sense of that I still watched it and will watch it again because I love watching movies that I don't like.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.9, and I agree with you. I'm super critical because I didn't watch this movie prior to you telling us, like, hey, we're gonna shit on this movie. But I would have had no problem coming here and defending it if I liked it, but I really didn't. I think it was truly just not a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 4.9. I'm gonna go with that.
I think the first time I watched it, I probably would have agreed with IMDb. Yeah, like I probably would have given it a 7.5, 8, and then you kind of was like, you were like, you got to watch it again. And I was like,
swayed
okay.
everybody.
Well, no, you were like, just
I
watch
had
it.
no problem coming here and being like, this. You guys are both fucked up. This movie's great.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Well, it was just like you pointed out all the pitfalls. You're like, just watch the movie again and think about how does he lose everything in 3 days? I go, well, maybe he's right. And I watched it again. I was like, wow, this is shit.
It's
You,
terrible.
you don't need coaching. I think that movie is it should be blatantly bad to everyone. It's just like I said, rushed stories. It could be a Dr. Seuss book. It is so
The Giving Tree.
unbelievably simple, the story, and they just drag it out into 2 hours and 60 minutes.
He is the Giving Tree. He gives everything until he's just a stump. He's just there's so many.
There you go.
So the
I'm just
overall
making sure I hit
rating
all my
is
notes.
Dr. Seuss Stump.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Thanks for being on the podcast.
What's the next movie? Are we going to say it now, or we got to figure it out?
We're going to figure it out. We'll let you know. We're going to come back and see how you guys respond to this episode of F This Movie, our inaugural F This Movie, and our 50th episode of the MarbleCast.
Yes.
We'll see how you guys respond. And our next one, maybe we'll do on the 75th episode, and be on the lookout for that
That's a
one.
long time.
So we got 25 more episodes to cover or 24 before we get to the next one.
It'll take us that long to find a day where we could all do this. So
That's true. So this
Yeah.
took a while. We were supposed to do this about 3
March.
months ago.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
This episode is brought to you by Driven Nutrition RX Coffee. So if you're in the market for some good ass coffee, we've been enjoying it this entire MarbleCast.
Yeah, it was good.
So
You watched me
Very
already
good.
drink it this whole time. I finished it.
we hope you enjoy that as well. And age is inevitable, weakness is not. So get out there and live some shit and go watch some shitty movies and talk about it. All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching today's MarbleCast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content. Check out our Spreadshirt shop to grab some swag, and if you would like to support the MarbleCast, please head over to anchor.fm. All of the links are in the description, and it helps us out to keep the channel running. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.